question is, why is this happening now? Why is this happening to our kids now? Why is it not happening to previous generations, etc., etc.? This is the idea of transgenerational epigenetic inheritance. That's what we're going to get into. We have these epidemics now, behavioral issues, type 2 diabetes, fatty liver disease, ADD, ADHD, autism, everything, sniffles, seasonal allergies, everything you can think of, eczema, psoriasis, all these things that these kids are suffering from. These kids are suffering. It's not their fault, okay? So let's talk about it. Why is it happening now? Nothing in this world gets me more upset than when adults say ridiculous things to me, when they prove to me, beyond a shadow of a doubt, that they've done zero research at all. When they say things to me like, well, my grandfather ate peanut butter and jelly every day of his life, and he smoked cigarettes and drank Jack Daniels, and he lived to be 90 years old. You're telling me that I can't eat bread. Right? Because they don't understand transgenerational impacts. There is something called transgenerational epigenetic inheritance. This means, I'm going to try to word this in a way that makes sense. Environmental factors from your parents' lives can actually change the expression of your genes without actually altering the genetic code. This is like science fiction, okay? You have the same genetics, the same DNA imprinted in you as your parents, but it can actually express itself differently because of what your parents chose to do throughout their life, turn on and off certain genes to make them express themselves a different way. This is the idea of epigenetics. Epigenetics literally means on top of. When you're a nutritional therapist like me, one of the main things we study is epigenetics, right? How environmental factors change the genetic expressions of your DNA. So let's try to make this. Let's see. Okay? So let's just go back a couple generations. So I'll give you an example of this, right? Weston A. Price has done a ton of work on teeth in people's heads, dental work, right? He's a dentist. Went around to all these indigenous tribes, hunter-gatherers, and their teeth are perfect. White teeth, perfectly straight, wisdom teeth all fit in their head, everything's perfect, no braces, no toothpaste, no toothbrush. What gives? How come they don't have cavities like we do? Because they don't have Doritos, everybody. That's why. But the reason why your wisdom teeth don't fit in your head, why your skeletal structure has changed, is because grandma ate grains. You need to understand this, okay? It's because your grandmother ate grains that your wisdom teeth don't fit in your head. I had 5 wisdom teeth taken out and they were all compacted, which means they crushed them into little bits and took them out piece by piece. 5 of them, okay? You can have 8 wisdom teeth, by the way. I don't know if people know that. So, let's get into this. I want to try to spell this out for you. So you have, we'll just say moms and grandmas. We're going to do that, okay? So you have grandma, okay? Grandma eats XYZ food, works a specific job, smokes cigarettes, drinks alcohol, whatever, or doesn't. Or it could be good, bad, right, or no good, bad, right, or wrong. We're just saying, right? So we have grandma, and then grandma gets preggo. She has a baby. That's your mom. Now, while she's living and while she's pregnant, she's continuing her lifestyle habits, whether it's smoking, not smoking, eating healthy food, not eating healthy food, eating grains, eating beef, whatever she's doing. Again, no good, bad, right, or wrong. What grandma has done, grandma's got some cool hair, grandma now makes your mom, okay? Now, your mom is just motoring along, low-fat, high-carbohydrate diet, probably by this point. I mean, I'm 33 years old, so my parents were getting low-fat, high-carbohydrate in the 60s, right? So low-fat, high-carb diet, we'll say this is Justin's grandma, this is Justin's mom, right? So she's getting low-fat, high-carb diet. She smoked cigarettes. My mom smoked cigarettes for 45 years. Just got her off cigarettes, by the way, right? So she smoked cigarettes for 45 years. She ate plenty of whole grains, blah, 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 all the things. Was quite stressed out. Gets pregnant, has a baby. So I'm eating all the same things she's eating now. This is mom, right? And we do this, and then here's Justin, okay? So Justin is born, and all of a sudden, Justin has crazy seasonal allergies, chronic bronchitis, asthma, can barely breathe, is 30 pounds overweight as a little kid, whatever, he's chubby, he's bummed out, everything sucks, right? And then I'm trying to, turns 15 and gets addicted to caffeine and ephedrine and lifting weights and bodybuilding and boxing and being a psychopath, right? And then Justin plays piano and does cool stuff, right? And now rants on videos to you, okay? But this is how transgenerational epigenetic inheritance happens. So I'm literally, if you look at we'll say DNA, right? So DNA is just getting passed on with each generation. And then the epigenetics would be like these little triggers, okay? Like epigenetics are changing the genetic expression. So all these little environmental factors, epigenetics meaning on top of genetics, right? So now we're changing the expression of the DNA. By the time you get to me, I am hands down the weakest of all of these people. Absolutely. Thanks to Western culture, I am the weakest of all of these people, okay? So my genetics are way worse than mom's genetics, and mom's genetics are worse than grandma's, and my genetics are way worse than grandma's. Compared to my grandma, I am made of glass, right? Now, we know these people came up in the Depression. They're way tougher than I am, right? My grandfather's a war hero, fought in World War II. I wouldn't want to do that shit. Nope, not even a little bit. I'll get on jiu-jitsu mats and pretend that I'm a tough guy. I'm not going overseas and fighting in a war. Hell no. No thank you, right? So the thing is, I'm virtually made out of glass compared to them. So this whole bullshit of my grandfather ate peanut butter and jelly and drank Jack Daniels and he lived to be 90, it's nonsense, okay? So you need to understand that. The transgenerational impact of environmental factors like nutrition. I can't figure out why I am the only guy I see online talking about this. I can't figure it out. I'm literally trying to find other people talking about this. If you know of other people talking about this, let me know so I can get them on the podcast. Because it's super important. And it's worse than it's ever been because of the processed food nation that we now have. So what you have to understand is that more than 70% of the standard American diet is made up of processed foods. Food pyramid, more than 70%. Okay? And marketing certainly doesn't help because women get pregnant. We've talked about this before. Women, don't take offense to this. This is just how America works. Oh, you're eating for two. Better have 3 slices of cheesecake. Better have a whole nother pint of Ben & Jerry's. Oh yeah, you can drink another big gulp Diet Coke. You're eating for 2. Here's another brownie. Nobody talks about like, hey, here's some grass-fed beef liver or grass-fed ground beef or like anything that might kind of be good for you. Here's a prenatal supplement from Walmart that costs $4 and you're going to poop out in the sewer and you just wasted your money on, right? It's nonsense, everybody. It's nonsense. So it's a free pass to be pregnant, eat all the processed food you could ever want, all the junk supplements, all the nonsense. You don't have to worry about anything. You're pregnant. You get to do whatever you want, right? What's happening now is that lab tests are showing over 200 chemicals in umbilical cords. 200 chemicals. I saw one that suggested maybe 300 chemicals in the umbilical cords of mothers who have just given birth. What the fuck? Like, what? Seriously, guys, this childhood nutrition thing, I don't know how I can still talk about this and still get hate for it. I don't get it. I can't wrap my head around it. And it makes my heart full that there are people in California right now that are working towards this and fighting for farm-to-table school lunch programs and trying to make things change, okay? Because my attitude on this is not going to change. And if you don't like me because of it, tough shit. Because something has to change. This is insane, everybody. These kids are in trouble since birth. We come out of the womb made of glass. That's what's happening. Then they grow into toddlers. Then school begins. Then we got sports teams and we got church and friends' houses and every other social event and grandma carrying candy in her purse. This is what happens. Let's just walk through this. Okay, I'm going to say a few things here. And I bet you that they're going to sound reasonable to you. If you're a parent, you're going to hear these things. I'm just going to run you through the day or the week of Junior, okay? Let's talk about Junior. I'm just going to use the generic name of Junior so nobody gets offended, okay? So these are the things that parents say. Junior has a soccer game in 1 hour. We better give him a banana, a Capri Sun, and some goldfish. Ah, look at that. It's halftime of the soccer game. We better give Junior his Gatorade. Wow, the game's over. Junior just played a hard soccer game. Let's give him an orange and some more goldfish and some chocolate milk because he worked really hard. Junior got an A on his math test, so let's give him some ice cream after dinner as a reward. The next day at school, it's Susie's birthday in Junior's class, so everyone gets gluten-free cupcakes. Hooray! Oh, and it's Friday, which means it's pizza day at school. Everybody loves pizza day. Junior loves pizza. On Saturday, we're going to go to Grandma's house. But grandma's house is a 40-minute drive. That's 40 minutes away. So we better stop at the store and make sure we get snacks for Junior for this long car ride. Wouldn't want his sugar levels to dip on this 40-minute car ride. Oh, now it's Sunday. We're going to wake up, put on our Sunday best, we're going to go to church, and the youth group is going to give Junior donuts and chocolate milk. Then we're going to leave church and go grocery shopping as a family to pick up everything we need for a week. And we're going to get Junior's favorite cereal with plenty of skim milk so he'll have breakfast for the entire week. All of the well-meaning grown-ups are literally shoveling carbohydrates into the faces of children like pigs being fattened for slaughter. That's what's happening here. Then, in the ultimate injustice, we tell the children to sit down in an uncomfortable-ass desk for 6 hours, and they better be quiet the whole time. Oh, and halfway through, we're going to take a little break so we can feed them more carbohydrates. Then we're going to sit them back in the chair. And if they misbehave, well then, we're going to bring the parents in so we can talk about medications. Because Junior just can't seem to sit still. Just think about it, everybody. That's a pretty standard week that I just walked you through in the life of an active little kid. He plays soccer. He needs all the bananas and oranges and Capri Sun. No, you're wrong. Dead wrong. But that word dead, that doesn't apply to you here. It applies to your kid. Think. Think for a second. Play this back 50 fucking times. I don't care how many times you have to listen to it. I don't care how much hate I get online. I don't care. I do not care who tries to say Justin's not a doctor, who tries to say Justin's not this, Justin's not that. I don't care what your doctor says to you while the buttons on his shirt are almost busting because he's 50 pounds overweight. I don't care what that doctor has to say. Understand me. This is what we're up against. Now I want you to memorize the name of an article that I'm going to share with you, okay? I want you to memorize the name of an article called The Drugging of the American Boy.